everyone. My name is Tammy Dennis-Arnold, and welcome to the Seed of Financial Abundance. I am new to the show, but what I will be bringing you starting today and each and every month, a little bit of knowledge about educating yourself with credit repair and the importance of having excellent finance services. Okay. Again, my name is Tammy. This is my very first show. I'm so excited, but I like to just say I just want to, give God all the thanks. I was introduced to this company through a great friend of mine, Reverend Carlisle and Lady C, Miss Helen Carlisle, and I thank you guys for bringing me to the show and for the opportunity. But also, I want to give American Hearts Radio a great praise, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. And not least, please let us not forgive God, because of God, all things are possible. So I'm just asking God to be with us, to lead and guide this. This is my first venture, but I will do my very best with you guys today. And again, my name is Tammy, and welcome to the Seeds of Financial Abundance. So first today, what I would like to start with is a little bit about my career. Went to school years ago to be an accountant. Don't want to share how old I am. Went to school years ago to be an accountant. Got married, been married 34 years. 91, I actually when I got my CDL, wanted a change of life. Got my CDL, I own my own freight brokering company and transportation company. 97, I went to work for this huge tax firm after getting my degree, and I operated their business for 5 years. 2003, I decided to go out on my own, started my own franchise, tax services, which is still located in Noonan, Georgia, Trinity Tax Services, where we are still operating successfully for the last 14 years. And in 2014, I saw the economy change, and I want to add a little bit of different things to my background. So I went to school and got my life and health insurance license. And then I also came across this fantastic company that I partnered with, Financial Education Services, where I am now VP in the company, and just enjoy helping people about, educating everyone about the importance of having excellent credit. Okay. Now, in this section today, what I'm actually going to be going over is the state of the American affairs and financial affairs. Did you know about 43 million people have less than perfect credit score? You would be surprised the people that I actually meet, come across, have a conversation with, that doesn't even know what their credit score even is. They tell me, well, I haven't checked it. I think what's happening in the world is that we get comfortable with having less than perfect credit, that we're actually having to go out to these buy here, pay here places, paying a tremendous amount of interest rate, not realizing that we're actually paying 2 or 3 times the price what the car is actually really worthy. And without knowing that, most people get settled in their situation and think that's the best they can do, so they don't look or even check their credit, and their credit really doesn't matter. The sad part is you got millions of companies out here charging you extra interest rate, and you're actually paying this, not even knowing you're paying way too much for the service. Okay? About over nearly half of America have over $225,000 in debt and less than $500 in saving. This is actually true, less than $500 in savings. Now let's think about that for a minute. Less than $500 in savings? Should it actually be the other way around? We should have about $225,000 in savings and less than $500 in debt. But because of America's state of affairs, a lot of people are not educated on what actually needs to be, and so they just think that's just the normalcy. So they go about their life paying the high interest rate because that's what they're actually used to do. Now, I do have a question for you guys. Do you guys even know what consists of your credit score? Do you even know what makes up your credit score? A lot of people seem to tell me when I actually introduce myself and let them know I'm vice president with Financial Education Services that paying their payment on time is all the credit is. They make their payment on time. Now I go, that's the only thing you do is pay your payment on time. They said, yeah, that's all you got to do, make your payment. So may I ask, what are your credit score? Well, it's in the mid 600. So I got good credit. Really? You have good credit? 600? Oh, no. That's not good. 600 is actually really in the real world today. So I try to educate my people about the importance of having excellent credit. So what I have to tell a lot of people that I come across that your credit consists of 5 components. 35% of your credit score is your payment history. It is your payment history. A lot of people think because they pay their payment on time, they're only making the minimum amount of payment that is due. That is not good enough. You actually need to keep your balances below 30% during each month when you make your payment. And a good advice or a tip that I could give to you is always call the credit card company or whoever you're making your payment to. Ask them what date do they actually report to the credit. Remember, it's not your due date, it's actually the amount that's being reported to the credit agency. This meaning, like, and I'll give you an example. American Express always reports to the credit agency on the 18th. My payment is not due to the 22nd. But me being the person that learned what I have after filing bankruptcy years ago, having to shut down me and my husband's trucking company because he had back surgery and was not able to operate it, I had to learn quickly about. So I learned to actually call all of the credit card companies, and I actually found out the date that they actually report to the credit agency. And about 4 or 5 days before that date, so American Express, again, is my example, they report on the 18th. Around the 10th or 12th, I go ahead and look at what my last statement balance. I don't pay it in full, which 99% of the time I do. I do like to go ahead and pay that balance down well below the 30% of whatever the credit line. So just happening it is $15,000. So what I do, I make sure my credit line is always down. I mostly carry maybe $1,000 balance, if that at all. So the secret to having excellent credit, again, is making sure you pay your payment on time and making sure you're paying more than just the minimum balance. Because if you don't pay, if you're only paying the minimum balance, first of all, you're going to end up paying way too much interest rate, and it's going to decrease your credit score tremendously. Okay. The second thing of your the system of your credit score is the utilization, and like I just mentioned, I always try to have your credit limit down by 30% or less on your credit card when it is being reported to the credit agency. This way, your availability of credit will be high, and this reduces the debt you have, and at the same time, it increases your credit score. So if you keep that in mind, that will help you to kind of, I paid my payment on the 12th, they reported on the 18th. Hey, do not use your credit again to maybe the 21st, 22nd, and that way will help you to keep your credit utilization down, okay? And about 15% of your credit is based off the history of your credit, the length of the credit. So the newer your credit is, the lower your score is going to be. Because first of all, for new credit, you actually just pulled your credit, or you inquired with a company that you wanted to do business with, and they did a pull on your credit. Now you got to remember that every time you have your credit pulled, that decreases your credit score each and every time. There are certain dealerships, and I won't call major dealership that I won't call a name because you guys might know. But here in Atlanta, one of my friends wants to purchase a new car. And I told her, you never ever just go to the dealership to purchase the car. You need to actually have the finances already done before you walk into a dealership. Meaning, go to your bank, go to the credit union that you do business with. I prefer credit union because they can only go up so high on the interest rate. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 6 or 7%, depending on the credit union. But and I don't want to call any specific ones by name. But go to your credit union or your bank, and you actually have them to go ahead and pull your credit. Because remember, they're only going to pull your credit one time. One time only. So you have your finances available when you walk into the dealership. Now, if you don't do that and you walk into a dealership, not knowing what your credit score is, not knowing what you're capable of purchasing price, not even know what the interest rate is, because a lot of people I talk to have no clue what their interest rate is. So when you walk into a dealership and you don't have your finances already pre-qualified, or you've been to your bank, they have the audacity to pull your credit up to 28 times. My girlfriend walked into the dealership. After I explained to her, do not just walk in the dealership. Have your finances in order before you go. She sit there 4 or 5 hours. That's the first key. You're sitting 4 or 5 hours waiting on them, and all your salesmen keep telling you, oh, we're trying to work a deal out. No, they're not. They're actually shopping. And it's not necessarily shopping for the highest interest rate, but shopping where they can actually have a cushion to actually charge you more for the price of the car. So the longer you sit inside that dealership, the less you know how bad your credit actually is. So just be mindful before you run to the dealership and actually pull your credit or have them to pull it. Just remind every time they pull it, up to 28 times at certain dealerships here in Atlanta, that's 6 points, 10 points going off your credit score, depending on what score you are when you actually walk in. By the time you leave there, my girlfriend, let me give you an example. By the time she left the dealership, her credit score had dropped 78 points. Ridiculous. So I tell her from now on, do like I do and not, follow the rules. Get yourself already pre-qualified. You already have your financing done when you get there, and you won't have to go through there. Technically, when you go buy a car, you should be in and out about an hour. It shouldn't even take that long. Pick your car, drive it. Hey, let them know you got your finances, sign the deal. You should get an excellent credit. Walk up out of there. Okay? Now, another 10% of your credit score is dependent on, excuse me, my mouth a little dry. Before I go into that, let me just tell you a little something about that. A lot of people in America now have less than perfect credit score. Did you guys know that 49% have no retirement? I wanted to get that little piece in there before I go on. 49% have no retirement or even have an idea how to even begin paying their debt off, or have a solution as to what they need to do to go forth moving toward having excellent. Okay, so that's why I come into play. I actually started with my own clientele and myself, because again, like I said, when I was introduced to this wonderful company and I partnered up with them, my husband had to have back surgery, and we really didn't know if he was going to be able to walk again. But by the faith of God, his surgery went fine. He is walking again, and if you see him, you won't even realize that he actually have rods and screws in his back. But at the same time, when I was introduced to this company, I had no idea what was going to happen to my credit. All I knew is that he wasn't going to be working anymore, and I knew I was going to eventually have to close the trucking industry down, the trucking company, and get out of the industry altogether. But when I was introduced to the company right before he had surgery, there were things on my credit that I didn't even realize was on my credit. So the question to you guys, do you even know what's on your credit report? Now, I know you guys like to go to certain companies on the website and they give you these free credit reports. But the trick is, those are called consumer reports. If you look in the right-hand corner of your report, when you're looking at it online, or whether you print it out or not, you'll see in the right-hand corner, it says consumer report, meaning they are actually only reporting portion of your actual credit score, or your actual credit reporting, meaning some of the items that you have listed on your credit will not be there. And let me give you my case, for example. When I partnered up with this great business, Financial Education Services, I had went to refi, do my home loan, and I was turned down. And I kept saying, why? I have the perfect credit score. I have the income. But it was the debt to income ratio that I didn't realize. But what furthermore that kind of blew me away is that when they told me I had purchased a house in Virginia. No, I didn't. They said, yeah, we can show it to you. So they was able to show me my true actual credit report, and I actually saw my true score. Now, mind you, this big company here in Atlanta and everywhere had financed somebody's home using me and my husband's credit. They actually had given them a $25,000 line of credit on a credit card. And it was crazy because we didn't see this information on our credit report. It wasn't until I started digging into financial education services, not just to help me, but my clients as well, that I came across this issue that we don't even know what's on our credit report. So I tell everybody, do your due diligence, do your homework, pull your credit, see what's there, see what's late. I had a bankruptcy years ago where I co-signed with someone. I want you to know, once I started doing financial education service, that bankruptcy had been sitting there 20-odd years, okay? 20-something years. I'm thinking, or I was told about the bankruptcy attorney 25, 30 years ago, that it wouldn't be on my credit. After 7 years, it would disappear. Little did I know, it was still hanging. But I didn't see it on the credit report that you and I go online and pull. I actually saw on the one that I'll introduce once I got into this business with financial education services. So please, everyone, always do your due diligence. And I can always be reached at TammyDennis-Arnold.net. That is the website. And also my email address is TammyDennisArnold@gmail.com. And my business number is 678-850-4026. I could be contacted at any time. You would speak directly with myself, and we'll see if we can help you out and figure out what's holding you down. Because it may be where you're ready to make a purchase. You might be trying to purchase a home. There's a lot of great deals going on right now. A lot of in Georgia. There's a lot of lease purchase option that's out there. There's a lot of home buyers down payment assistance, like at Fulton County, there's up to $35,000 home down payment assistance that are available. So there's a lot of programs that I get involved in, so I can educate my people, my community, or whoever needs it, actually, to get the credit you deserve, so you do not spend a lifetime. From the study says that you will spend between $225,000 up towards $1 million in interest rate if you continue to live the lifestyle you live, paying the higher interest rate, and not taking care of your business. Credit is king, you guys. Credit is king. Credit is king. Okay? Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this today. And again, welcome to the Seed of Financial Abundance. My name is Tammy Dennis-Arnold. And again, I want to welcome you. Thank you.